His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa arrived in the United Arab Emirates on an official visit at the invitation of the UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to participate in the 28th conference of the parties COP28 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Upon arrival, His Majesty the King was received by the Crown Prince of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the two countries' ambassadors, as well as a number of recipients. Upon arrival, His Majesty the King made a statement in which he expressed thanks and gratitude to the President of the UAE, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, for his invitation to participate in COP28. His Majesty hailed the UAE's efforts and preparations to host the international conference, providing impetus to achieve success in addressing one of today's most pressing global challenges related to human life, livelihood, progress, and the future. His Majesty wished that the global summit will result in reaching innovative and equitable solutions to climate change and its impact. His Majesty the King expressed pride in the strength and development of relations between the two countries and their people, which have consolidated over the course of history based on kinship, a shared destiny, and mutual interests. He affirmed the ongoing commitment to continue building on the successful efforts to develop and enhance cooperation to achieve the interests of the two countries and their peoples. His Majesty the King also expressed thanks and appreciation to the UAE and its leadership for their tangible efforts to strengthen international efforts to address global challenges and harness all efforts to remedy their implications on humanity and its development process. His Majesty wished the UAE success in its endeavors. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa had departed to the United Arab Emirates, head Bahrain's delegation at the 28th conference of the parties COP28 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, held in Dubai at the invitation of the President of the UAE, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa issued Edict 107 of 2023 appointing a director at the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications based on a proposal by the Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications. Khalid Al-Sayyid Hussein Yassin shall be appointed as Director of the Meteorological Directorate at the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications. His Royal Highness also issued Edict 108 of 2023 appointing a director at the Education and Training Quality Authority BQA based on a proposal by the chairman of the Board of Directors of the BQA. Dua Isa Abdul Wahab shall be appointed as the director of the Vocational Reviews Directorate at the BQA. Bahrain unveiled its national energy strategy, a clear, a credible and responsible pathway to reaching the climate targets the kingdom pledges to achieve at COP26, namely a 30% reduction in emissions by 2035 on the road to net zero emissions by 2060. This strategy is rooted in decarbonizing Bahrain's economy while ensuring reliable and affordable access to the energy the kingdom needs to sustain and indeed accelerate its growth. The strategy relies on optimizing energy demand to reduce energy intensity and consumption, diversifying the country's power mix to include cleaner energy sources, and deploying carbon abatement technologies. The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, Chairman of Babco Energies, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, said that under the wise leadership of His Majesty the King and with the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Bahrain is embarking on a transformative journey towards a more sustainable future, where energy security evolves as a shared responsibility nurtured by the innovation of our domestic energy industry. His Highness added that the strategy provides a realistic pathway to decarbonizing the national economy to achieve energy transition goals and fulfilling net zero national commitments by 2060. The chairman of the Shura Council, Ali Saleh, delivered a speech during the third Global Conference for Social Innovation, in which he expressed pride in His Majesty the King's vision to enhance social innovation in Bahrain. He hailed the government's efforts led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to encourage community initiatives and programs that develop social components. As-Saleh hailed the government's keenness on applying the best practices in social innovation and utilizing them in leading developmental initiatives. He commended the efforts of the civil society in social innovation, noting that many civil society organizations in Bahrain are launching projects and programs in the field of social innovation. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa delegated the Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah to attend the graduation ceremony of the 9th batch of Bahrain Polytechnic, held under His Royal Highness's patronage at Bahrain National Theatre. On this occasion, the Deputy Premier affirmed that the educational process witnesses quantum leaps that are in line with the comprehensive development process led by His Majesty the King and with the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He stated that Bahrain Polytechnic reflects the government's keenness on developing education in line with Bahrain Economic Vision 2030. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah noted that the rapid changes in technological development, particularly AI, requires utilizing it positively to prepare for the future and develop the educational process. He noted the efforts of the chairman and members of the Board of Trustees and the members of the academic and administrative bodies at the university to achieve its goals. The Deputy Premier congratulated the graduates present at the graduation, where the Shura Council Chairman Ali Saleh and a number of ministers, officials and invitees. For his part, the Minister of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture and Chairman and member of the Board of Trustees of Bahrain Polytechnic, Engineer Wa'il Mbarak, delivered a speech in which he hailed the support of His Majesty the King and the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Educational March. He also commended His Royal Highness's patronage of the ceremony and expressed appreciation to the Deputy Premier for attending. Mbarak highlighted the development of the university and graduated the graduates, wishing them further success. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah then handed over the certificates to the outstanding students from all programs and specializations.
Today is our 9th graduation for the Polytechnic, and today we had 160 graduates graduating from all disciplines, from engineering, ICT, business and logistics and general business. And it was a great pleasure to have the Deputy Prime Minister here as our guest of honour for this very prestigious occasion this morning. And you can see the graduates are very pleased with the outcome of today's celebration. And it's also great to note that 83% of our graduates are currently employed, which is also a great statistic. And really, that's one of the things that we really aim to achieve is employability for our graduates.
Bahrain Polytechnic for its continuous support, especially the marketing majors tutors. I'd also like to thank my parents for their unwavering support, as well as them being the reason behind my success. The memories gained and the experiences were priceless.
Under the patronage of the President of the Royal Equestrian and Endurance Racing Federation, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Bahrain National and Straight Egyptian Horse Championships was held yesterday with wide participation from stables and owners. The championship comes within the framework of the Federation's keenness to advance the Arabian horse sport, which has made many achievements in foreign forums. The championship's organizing committee wished success to all participating owners and stables. The Information and E-Government Authority (IGA) announced the launch of the beta version of the National Appointment System, which will be applied to 2 institutions. In this regard, the CEO of IGA, Mohammed Al-Qaid, affirmed that the Mawaid application represents a unified and central national platform for booking appointments for all government services. The CEO of the Urban Planning and Development Authority, Engineer Ahmed Al-Khayyat, announced the launch of the guideline for reconstruction in archaeological and heritage areas in coordination with the concerned authorities. The CEO indicated that the guide was developed according to a comprehensive strategy that preserves the historical and cultural identity of the cities of Bahrain. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning announced the launch of the official page for the Muharraq City Development Plan on the Ministry's website, coinciding with the launch of the guidelines for reconstruction in archaeological and heritage areas. The Assistant Under Secretary for Resources and Information at the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning, Dunya Sarhan, affirmed that the page's launch is within the efforts to introduce the objectives of the plan and its components. The page also provides answers to frequently asked questions about the plan. Bahrain Mumtalakat holding company Mumtalakat announced its partnership with InvestCorp to anchor the launch of a new climate investment platform to investing in climate solutions. Under the management of InvestCorp, the platform Climate Solutions partners will focus on providing capital to leading international companies active in helping consumers and corporates worldwide to accelerate decarbonization. The Chief Executive Officer of Mumtalakat, Sheikh Abdullah bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, stated that climate change is one of the most compelling investment opportunities for the coming years, and it is critical that the GCC and the wider MENA region is positioned to lead the energy transition and the new solutions that will require. He expressed pleasure with the collaboration with Investcorp to launch this groundbreaking initiative and ensure its success, adding that the Climate Solutions Partners platform demonstrates the commitment to combat climate change. The co-chief executive officer of Investcorp stated that addressing the climate change requires the resources and expertise of the world's leading financial institutions and investors, expressing pride in Mumtalakat's being an anchor and partner in launching this new initiative. The activities of the 28th edition of the Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP28, began today in Expo City, Dubai, which will continue until December 12th. More than 180 heads of states and government, 85,000 participants and more than 5,000 media representatives who hold official media accreditation from the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change will participate in the summit activities. All eyes are on the language leaders will adopt regarding the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy, crucial to limiting long-term warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius as envisioned under the 2015 Paris Agreement. Several proposals are being floated to help fund projects and recovery funds related to the climate change. One is to charge fees for overconsumption that drives greenhouse gas emissions, or international solidarity taxes. While supported by Kenya, Barbados and others, this potential new stream of financing has yet to be embraced by the US or other advanced economies. The 28th session of the Conference of the Parties COP28 to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change kicked off in Dubai, UAE. The UAE took over the presidency of the conference from Egypt, which chaired the 27th edition last year. This came in a ceremony in which the Emirati Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, the appointed president of the COP28 conference, Sultan Al-Jaber, and the Egyptian Minister of Foreign Affairs and chairman of the previous session of the COP27 conference, Sameh Shukri, participated. The previous session of the COP was at a crucial time in confronting challenges that the world was recovering from the COVID-19 crisis and the Ukrainian war. More than 100 world leaders are scheduled to address the gathering on Friday and Saturday. For his part, Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber said during his speech at the opening of the Climate Summit in the Emirates that the conference will not ignore any problem and will discuss all challenges in a comprehensive manner. The minister noted that the current conference must reach the highest degree of adaptation and said that fossil fuels must be part of any deal as the crucial negotiations on global warming opened in Dubai. The two-week-long talks come at a pivotal moment when emissions are still rising and the World Meteorological Organization declaring 2023 is set to be the hottest year in the human history. In a significant step, nations are expected to formally approve on Thursday the launch of a loss and damage fund for climate-vulnerable countries after a year of hard-fought negotiations over how it would work.